Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll read the minutes from the last meeting. Notes present were Fred Farley, Jody Price, John Pfeiffer, Pam Van Hook, and Toby Van. Others present: Randy Emmert, Robin Cook, Aaron Colt, and Tom Schubert. The minutes from the July 14th meeting were read and approved. Andy gave his water, wastewater, and street report. In addition, the council approved the purchase of a new influent meter for the lift station. Mrs. Price made the motion and Mr. Pfeiffer seconded. Andy also gave his building commissioner report. And under old business, the early ban warning from IDEM, Mr. Schubert presented the draft response to IDEM regarding this matter. It will be finalized and sent later this week. And we had one order of new business. Mila Teal asked if it would be possible for benches to be made from the plastic lid donations by festival. This will depend on Mr. Emmert and Mr. Major's workload. With no further business to discuss, the claims were signed and the meeting is adjourned. Do I hear any additions or corrections to these minutes?
I make a motion to accept them.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to our reports.
All right, underwater, the plant's treated 590,730 gallons since July 28th. Our average daily usage is 42,195. Filters were backwashed on August 8th. Our August back T is complete. The results are negative. The July water report is complete. It's been submitted to IDEM. Fire hydrants have been flushed. We have 2 hydrants that are in optimal, flush hydrants, that is. The one up on 50 and the one on Walnut. I pushed them to the point I thought I was going to break them, but we didn't have anything to, you know.
From my lot.
Yeah, it's done for. I mean, we got that other flush hydrant that's in the ground down on, you know, by Elliot's house.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I flushed that line, but I used to do that flush hydrant there. I used to do both of them, but it's frozen. Yeah, it's bad. But those are things. Hopefully, if we get that grant, those are both the ones that would be replaced with real fire hydrants instead of just a flush hydrant. And then I'm going to be attending the Alliance of Indiana Rural Water Conference in Fort Wayne, August 25th through the 27th for training and CEUs. For wastewater, been performing daily checks at the lift stations, the ponds, and the SSO during rain events. Our sewer plant is closed and we're not discharging. Our weekly sewer samples are complete. MK Betts has not resumed work at the sewer plant as of today, and we've received our first change order for grading on a chlorine tank for $2,000. I don't really agree with the solution on that, and I've asked for more information for some other possible solutions. Everything for the new influent meter at the lift station has been ordered, and most of it is in. Installation should be completed within the next few weeks. The manhole and contractor availability. Under streets, we had a person injured on swings at the small playground. They're swinging, I don't know, they fell, basically they were trying to grip onto the chain, just as normal reaction. And those chains are, the original ones are twist chains, so they cut their fingertips on it. I never really got a full answer to how it happened, but I want to change all those chains, the old style chains over there. I mean, the new swing set that's down at the south end has new style chains. I want to change those. It's probably going to be about $50 a swing. There's 4 of them to change out, and then I want to get the crimp tool for the S-hooks. And then we're gonna, at some point, I don't know, this may not even happen this year, we're also gonna need to get mulch. I got a cost on it. The semi-load is $2 grand. We've been raking it, but it's just getting thin. But there's a big shortage on playground chips. Tiffany's is unclear. He's thinking if they're lucky 6 weeks, could be more. They have not been given a definite time from their supplier. So we may just have to do the best we can through this year. I don't know yet, but I'm supposed to contact them here in about 3 weeks for an update on the chips. And again, I'd also like you to consider buying security cameras for the park. I think it's going to eliminate a lot of the problems. I mean, we got kids that are actually bringing, I mean, I haven't caught them, but they have to be. I mean, they're bringing tools to the park to take stuff apart. I mean, I'm putting this stuff on so tight. I mean, there's no way you're getting it off with your hand. There's no way. You know, I mean, we're using lock nuts, lock bolts, washers, you know, and tighten them as tight as we can tighten them ourselves, and they're being taken back apart. And like I say, the price is going to range. I mean, the prices I've looked at several different ones, but it'd be between $1,000 and $1,800 depending on what we get. On the higher end, they're all infrared, they're all wireless, at the 750-foot range. That means we could have them on the town hall, all within range of the one system. We have them on the town hall, on the basketball court, on the water tower, on the building itself, and everything over there is covered. High resolution camera. It's got a terabyte hard drive. It'll store up to 4 years of video on this thing before we have to dump it or copy it, erase it, whatever we need to do. But
How much?
about $1,800. I mean,
You know they want to do the same thing on the ball fields?
don't want to do the same thing at the ballpark. That's farther. That's on my next deal down here. This vandalism is non-stop. It just does not stop. You know, we just graded all, but I did half the lot. We were down there working the other day. I had a tractor down there, took some trees down, doing some other clearing, and I graded about half the lot. People are down there, trucks, and it's trucks. I think I know who it is, but I haven't caught them doing it, so I can't say, but four-wheel drive trucks driving all over the place down there, rutting it up, tearing it up. I got too much crap to do as it is, and then I'm trying to squeeze in, fixing this ball diamond up, and it just keeps getting destroyed. Both of them. I mean, the vandalism just does not stop. And if we can catch them on camera, prosecute them, I'm hoping it'll end. You know, we may pay for these damages and cover it. You know, and also the ball diamond. Again, we want to find out about if we're changing the locks down there or not.
Well, I'm not so much against the cameras, security cameras down there, but if we do find someone, we do have evidence that you're, you know, if we're just going to give them a slap on the hand, bring them up here and give them an oral reprimand, then I'm not willing to spend $4,000, you know, $1,800 down there and $1,800 up here, if we're not going to do anything about it. If we're going to be serious about it and take it serious and make people pay back damages and this kind of thing, I'd consider it. But if we're not going to be serious about prosecuting them, I don't want to waste $4,000 of town's money for, you know. That's my feeling on it.
I know we had an issue with the post office a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. Did we ever hear anything back from that, John, as far as, I know there was talk of a security camera in that area? I talked to Andy and told him that approved him to get 5 of those cameras that he was talking about, like he has the one for this area, you know, that we discussed. And the police officers, I sent an email, I copied you on to Dennis, and there was an officer up the next day, and they did follow up on that. They talked to Bruce down there at the post office, they talked to Sandy, and they did talk to some kids' parents, if I understood right. And I went in the post office, talked to Bruce the following day, and he said that he had talked to the postmaster, and if we wanted to put a camera inside the lobby, that they had no issue with that either. you know, I told him, I said, if we put one outside and we see kids go in, but they go around the back of that cubby hole, you can't see that they're actually the ones doing it. So we ain't catching them. You gotta catch them in the act of whatever, actually doing the vandalism, and seeing them go in and out of the post office and not, you know, actually catching them in the act. And so it's all okay there, and, you know, if those were the cheaper cameras.
Well, we've got one we have now, we can do it with that one. The problem at the park is, we move it around different places. It is infrared, it's motion activated, and we've had success in certain areas where we kept having a repeat problem catching somebody. But the problem is, I mean, it's everywhere.
The issue down at the post office is, and Bruce said that he talked to his boss, which is the postmaster, that he told us to lock the door behind him when he left at 11:30. So if that's the case, no one's gonna be able to get in the lobby to get their mail. And I've got a feeling if that took place, then eventually this post office would be shut down, and I don't want that to happen. So I think that, you know, if we can get some cameras or something, and I'm with Toby, we catch these kids or whoever it is. Sandy said they were young kids. She said she's seen them out as late as 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're school kids that are out definitely after curfew. In my email to Dennis, I asked him to step up some patrols in the evening in this downtown area and whatnot. And I feel, same as Toby, we had that one situation where we did catch the kids, and only one out of those 6 or 7 kids, the parents took it serious and done anything, and the rest of them never even showed up with the stuff that we agreed for them to come up and do, so they didn't have to come out of their parents' pocket. So I'm not into, you know, giving the kids a, you know, bad record or bad start in life, but at the same time, if the parents ain't gonna do any discipline or don't care any more than what I seen out of these bunch, I think that we need to let them go down and talk to the juvenile officer down there. You know, it seems like it's getting worse. I've been out to the park, or the Ball Diamond at Angie's, you know, I went out there when the first got turned over to the town, and I seen the damage that was existing as we took over. You go out there now, and a lot of the panels are kicked completely out of the end of the dugouts. They're completely gone. They're just out there busting them out. I went out and talked to Andy. I drove across the ruts in the gravel where they'd just been out there doing nothing but donuts in that one end, and I seen the tire tracks of the 4-wheel drive. He's talking about driving all over the place and out through that field to the north. I think we need to do something. If we don't, we might as well not fix that Ball Diamond up, because it's just throwing good money away, you know.
That's right. And I want to get signs, I want to get corresponding signs with these, to let people know, you know, it's under surveillance.
Robin, where would the funds to purchase these cameras?
Well, obviously the park doesn't have money for mulching cameras, so.
On the mulch
I think in
issue,
general, I think we could.
I'd
for
like
the
to
ball
wait till
fields.
next, on the mulch, I'd like to make a recommendation. We wait till next year with this late in the fall, and it's gonna be another 6 weeks that's better out. No sense in getting it and then let it sit there and deteriorate through the winter months, and just maybe look at it next spring and get it while it's fresh and early in the spring.
The general fund can pay for the Ball Diamonds. We might have to do an additional appropriation, but we have the money. Probably festival fund for, maybe even a general
The
fund.
one at the Ball Diamond would be a little less, yeah, because I think it'd be less cameras out there. I looked at the one here when they had 8 cameras to cover the park, and like I said, we put one here. The 750-foot range on it.
I've just kind of hid the general fund for everything from the Ball Diamonds right now, so we hopefully can get it to where.
And I think while
we're-
we're doing it, there needs to be one here for you gals, in the event
Of anything.
of a disgruntled person. I mean, we've had a couple of those issues where one comes in and it's, you know, unrealistic.
Yeah.
And it would be good to have that.
Well, I can measure the range on it. I haven't taken any measurements, but I can measure the range on it, because it may be a situation with our distances, we can put the hard drive here. I mean, initially I was thinking about it being in the utility room at the park, but if the range is there, we may be able to have it here. Because it also comes with repeaters, so I mean, we could have the hard drive here and a repeater in the shelter house to boost it, so.
Could you get some actual
Yeah, I've looked at a few different systems, so I can get something for the next meeting, some
Yeah.
options, printouts,
Yeah,
and
so we can,
different options, what it is.
that
Is there-
sounds acceptable to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can look at the different ones and see what you think.
I think we need to do it.
Keep them from shooting the cameras out.
I don't know, Roberta. I
Well, at least
We'll have a picture of them if they do.
Yeah.
We'll have a picture of them if they do,
Yeah.
so.
I know that's all new to everyone, security camera. I work in a school, we have approximately 30 cameras in my school. And you know, I know that sounds like overkill, but I can sit there and I can see anything at any time. I mean, if you have vandalism, you go back, you review your security cameras, and believe it or not, it's right on there.
Well, it's even other things. I mean, it's like, if people get hurt over there, if some other crime's committed against a person, or there's an assault, or anything like that. I mean, it's either beyond vandalism, it's a public safety thing, isn't it? Especially in the park. And the systems I'm looking at, so, you know, I mean, they can be viewed. I mean, all of us could have access. I mean, you can view them on your phone, you can view it from the computer, lifetime. I mean, you can check it.
Well, like I say, I'm not against the cameras. I just want to be a good steward with the town's money.
Sure.
And we're willing to follow up on any kind of legal action that's needed. If we're willing to follow up on it, I'm all in favor for all of this. As many cameras as needed, as we can afford. Yes.
Yeah, I'll get some prices together so you can review it at the next meeting, some options.
Yeah.
We'll move on that.
All right, and under building, had one electrical inspection, 3 zoning inquiries, and 2 building permit inquiries. In the property at 315 South Railroad Street, it has been condemned by the Hamilton County Health Department. Someone's still going in the house and vandalizing it even further. And I was in there today, we mowed it, and the mold, the decay, I can't even explain to you in the last month how more hideous that thing is inside. I mean, it's unbelievable. And, you know, because of the unsafe conditions, I really think the town needs to board that thing up and move forward with having the home demolished. It's at the rate it's going, I mean, seriously, part of that, probably by next spring, part of it's going to collapse. I mean, the whole end of the house is just rotted. You go in the garage and look up at the ceiling, and really the way that thing's built, it shouldn't have been built. But all that plywood's delaminating, it's black, all the rafters have mold all over them. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we picked a bunch of stuff up out of the yard today, and my plan is, if we do secure it, I hope you guys agree with, I'm cleaning everything up in the yard and throwing it in the garage. There's all this siding, there's tires, there's junk. I mean, every bit of trash that's out in the back of that thing and on the side of it, I'm just gonna cram in the garage and board that thing up where they can't get in there. They've been in there busting glass out. I mean, it is unbelievable. And, you know, even with what rain we've had, just here the other day, that roof leaks so bad. The carpet squishes everywhere in the house. And there's a whole wall as big as that in that living room. That whole wall is black. I mean, there's mushrooms growing out of the floors and the walls. It's unbelievable.
It's become a health hazard.
Oh, it is, and that's why
That's
these kids don't even know what they're in there, going in there and breathing, you know, and being around. I mean, I'm assuming there's kids still going in there. But it's, that back wall has sagged and racked where that roof is going bad. The back door in the garage, you can't even close it anymore, because it's all, I was trying today. You can't even close it.
Was there some question about who the lien holders were?
Well, you know, I talked to Aaron about that, and he says it really doesn't matter. It's the owner on record at the county, and he said if we really wanted to cover ourselves, be up to you. You know, we could pay for a title search just to notify other owners, but the health department has just been notifying Nick. I mean, they've sent all their correspondence to him, and that's all I could find.
Okay.
I did call the bank, and I haven't been able to find, I know it's all tied up in it, but I haven't been able to find any lien holders or anyone other than Nick. And I mean, if it was part of the business, it's an asset that was seized by the bank, there may not be a lien holder on it. It could just be an asset that's been seized by the bankruptcy court until value's determined, but the house is beyond
No
repair.
value.
Yeah.
If it's tied up in bankruptcy, can we touch it,
That I have to figure out.
even if it's condemned?
Yeah.
We'd have to go through the protocol that's required through the unsafe building laws.
I'd say we need to do something. I'd say have Andy to work with
Sheriff's sale.
Aaron and Melissa and start
Yeah, we'll
doing
look at
the
that.
look through the legal avenue we gotta follow to take that house down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say take that
And
down.
I'd say go ahead and board it
Sooner
up
the better.
temporary until we see what,
In some of the doors, I'm gonna be able to, it's not gonna have to be every single thing. I can secure something from inside, so they can't get them. A couple
Yeah, but
doors.
you shouldn't be going in there.
We like to put plywood on, and then in the back, where you can get up on that deck and that roof, I like to cover the windows in the back, cause someone's still going in and out that door on the top. I mean, it's closed and locked it 2 or 3 times. It was open again today. What I can't believe is nobody over there is seeing all this. I mean, they're going out on the roof.
it's probably as well, we just ain't paying any attention, don't wanna get
Yeah.
involved.
But it's been, there's a posting on the door from the health department. That's all I have unless you have any questions.
So we are all in agreement for Andy to proceed with boarding that up? Or with a motion?
Yeah.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Murray's not here this evening. So, Donna, do you have anything to report? Okay. We'll move on to old business tonight. We have Ralph Kuna. Did I pronounce that right?
Exactly, thank
Ralph is here this evening with Endeavor Communications. And, we met last Wednesday. Andy, Tony and I did, and went over this easement usage agreement. There, I got it out. And I'd like to get approval on that this evening from the council. Do you have anything to add tonight, Ralph?
No, I just want to appreciate, once again, last Wednesday night, having the opportunity to sit down and work through all those issues and coming up with that revised agreement so we can move forward and complete the work here in the town of Atlanta and bring fiber to all the residents here. So I just wanted to introduce Matt Emmerich, he's one of our engineers, he's been working quite a bit on the project as well. And we have John here with CSU, who's the main contractor on the job, so I want to ensure that all of us working together communicate effectively so we can wrap the project up and bring it to a close here.
Any of the council members have any questions tonight regarding this agreement?
I don't have any questions. I just, I reviewed the revised easement agreement that we were sent from their attorney, and I think it covers everything that we discussed in the meeting. I don't have any additions or anything to add to that. I think it covered it, and it's all what we discussed and came to an agreement at that meeting. If everyone else is in agreement, I'd make a motion that we go ahead and accept this and sign this easement agreement tonight so that they can get underway with their project.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
3 originals, one for us, one for Endeavor, one for CSU. From the council president.
original for you.
Thanks for the cups, Matt.
That's all.
We'll take them everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Advertise.
Any questions from the floor this evening to Endeavor? Well, we have these folks here. Roberta?
Will they be done before festival, or is it gonna be torn up during festival?
No, it will be done by then, so the
Wow.
plan right now, depending on how many crews we can get in, will be to finish up within approximately 30 days or so, depending on how the weather is,
Yeah.
of course, and hopefully we get some dry weather and John and his team can get the crews in to
It's
get
not
the
supposed
work
to rain
done.
till Tuesday, so you're okay?
But that 30 days will be the construction phase of it, and then the rest of our teams will come up and work on converting folks that have copper today to fiber optics. And that will go on over the next several months, but that will be individual homes and businesses to make that happen.
So it will bother festival.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And this Saturday, everybody will make it out to the park here, but we're bringing our trailer up and we'll have some bounce houses and some food and the like from 2 to 4 p.m. this Saturday. So look forward to folks coming out and find out. Absolutely.
Gentlemen, thank you again for coming
All
out
right.
tonight.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Get out of here.
Guys, be careful going.
All right. Thank you.
Long trip.
Yeah.
Don't get lost on the back.
Good stuff.
Okay, we'll move on to more old business. Rick Pfeiffer's here this evening. Running the ball field, so Rick,
How you doing?
doing well. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Well, I guess I've met with Andy and kind of looked over the situation out there. And, last week sometime, and then Saturday I met with Chris Franklin, another individual, one of his buddies. So kind of interested in doing what we can, I guess. I think they've worked on the little fields, infield a little bit, and I've worked on the big fields and try to get those back. We looked at the toilets all need to be replaced, and some water lines broken. Concession stand needs cleaned up. I'm kind of looking to run a men's league this fall, just maybe 4 or 5 teams, something small this late. Not that many weeks left to play, so it would probably just be like it usually was Sunday afternoons. I think they're looking at trying to get a couple of, I guess you'd want to call them travel teams. They wouldn't necessarily be in with the Heights teams, but they're on pretty good terms with the other towns, and I don't think they're opposed, or the other towns opposed to trying to work something out where we could get games up here. You may have some Atlantic kids sign up with the Heights, try to work out something so that can be, the fields can be used by the Heights kids. But I think those two individuals both want to have a travel team type of team. So I think they just want it to be open up to anybody, and they also said they could get help if there was some type of fundraiser to do at the Earth Festival. The city, if that's not too late. So I guess kind of not figuring out where the town's at and where we're at is what the town wants to do or is willing to help do. Or now I'm going to go out there and try to work on the concession stand and toilets and clean it up. And I would like to use it during the men's league. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a leaky roof. There's a lot.
It's a mess.
Yeah. get the fields back in shape, try to maybe get signed sponsors again. I don't want to be involved like I was in the past. I just like to help out. Sure. Have other, like Chris and his friend, just get involved and get something going.
Are they part of a organization right now? I mean, are they like a formal organization, or are they wanting to like start one?
They're wanting to start one.
Okay.
I think Chris is.
He's pretty serious.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good. I think his kids actually played at Noblesville last year. So, I mean, you probably could get, you may be able to get Pee-wee numbers here to have some, and I don't think those are generally, I don't know if the Pee-wees are included in the sign-ups or they're still separate. When they start out joining.
They were included in the sign-ups.
They're what?
They were included in the sign-ups.
They were included with the heights. Which that doesn't, I always thought that was the kind of direction we needed to go anyway. Because our teams had boys and girls, whoever you could get, forming up.
Ricky said they were wanting to try and form some type of traveling teams up here or something. Is that going to be something through the regular scheduled season, or is that going to be separate from the regular season to where they could get kids sign up here for like Atlanta, a Atlanta baseball team that would play with the other towns, or is that going to be something that'll be pretty much all summer long with the traveling?
Well,
playing?
I probably maybe shouldn't use the word travel, but I think they're wanting to form teams that would actually play Cicero, Arcadia, and Sheridan, whoever's in that league.
They're just trying to get enough kids together to form a team,
Yeah.
regardless of what it's called.
But probably be an independent team, I guess.
Okay, yeah, because
But
I'm not against it in any way, shape, or form. I'm all for getting something going out there for the kids, but I want to make sure that whatever we do, it's not kids from a certain age group to where all the kids age groups around here wouldn't get an opportunity to play out there, and the kids from town wouldn't. I don't want to have a traveling team where it's kids from everywhere else coming here, and then the kid from Atlanta doesn't get to play out there because the fields are taken up. That's what I'm kind of looking at.
Even at best, I don't think we've ever had a situation where we didn't have field time.
Okay.
When we were going full with 8 or 9 or 10 teams. I think they're wanting to have sign-ups
Okay, good.
for Atlanta.
Anybody's
Whoever wants to
interested.
sign up, but they'd be Atlanta sign-ups. And
Okay.
the thing we gotta be careful about is to have those sign-ups early enough that if we can't form a team in that age group, that we're on good enough terms with the other towns that we can point those kids somewhere else before the sign-ups are over. And I think that's been a problem in the last few years, maybe. So we want to get them somewhere. We hopefully they'd be here to play, but if we could, we want to get them somewhere to play. And you just got to build it back up. When we quit, we had 2 Babe Ruth boys teams. We had a couple of travel teams plus the in-house teams. And when you had the travel teams, it might be somebody who has a daughter or a sister or brother that might want to play here. Same way with the Babe Ruth boys. Sometimes you got the Babe Ruth boys here, and they say, well, "I'm just going to sign up my other 2 kids here because it's handy.
Yeah.
And we like it here." Last year I coached, we had 15 kids on our major boys team, which is too many, but we had 15 kids. So you just kind of try to get it built back up. You got to start somewhere, I guess.
Rick, we appreciate your willingness to step up and try to do this. That was one of my concerns in taking this over, the town. I think we're all in agreement that we want to see it move forward, and why the difference, how much better it looks now than what it did back, before we took it over. So hopefully.
Yeah, it's not much use as the ball field set here.
No.
For nothing. So I don't know if you guys got any ideas or input. I don't know the financial, how to juggle the financial part of it as far as fundraisers. I really don't want to be, as far as the men leagues go, I'd be open and willing to say, here's what I've done, I don't know if I could be compensated for some of the stuff I've done by allowing to use the fields, but if I have to pay something to use the field, that's not a problem. But I wouldn't mind handling that part and showing you guys the X's and O's, the umpires, softballs, entry fees, and however it turns out. But the big overall picture, I don't know if you can deal with each group on that kind of basis, but the overall, I'm sure that's up to you guys as far as handling. If a fundraiser's done, I know Andy's got some ideas how that money would be set in an account. The town would oversee that. You know, I don't know. That's
Well, obviously, there's a lot of repairs that need to be made down there. You know, you mentioned the plumbing and, you know, we've been down and looked at that, and it is, you know, there's toilets that are busted, roof that's leaking. You know, I don't know what type of agreement we could come to, and maybe trading out some of that, or, you know, if you would be willing to make some of those repairs, and, you know.
no, I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
What all would you be willing to do as far as maintaining that down there for the use of it for the men's league? And, you know, as far as the repairs and the maintenance and stuff on the diamond?
I think Chris and they're willing to help do some of those things too, just to try to get things ready for next year. I don't know. I can work out. I mean, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't know how anxious Andy
You're
is.
not gonna step on
You're not
it.
gonna step on it.
You know, this is what we've been looking for, is people that are interested and that has got the skills and things to be able to do some of these repairs, and that's what we're looking at, to get this thing turned around. Andy and his guy is busy with everything else, and we're getting ready to go into that sewer project and the festival coming up, so, you know, so,
I know he's got like a tank for the toilet, and actually a toilet to replace the one in the concession stand. I'm willing to do some of that stuff, and I'm sure Chris and his friends are too. And it sounded like he thought he could get like 10 people if he needed that many at the Earth Festival even. So, if we got any ideas there,
Parking.
we thought about that. And I don't know what the state of. I noticed there was some antifreeze in there on the shelf that they
didn't use in the toilets and.
Yeah. I don't know about the equipment. I have no idea about the equipment. And you know as well as I do, Johnny, it used to be when you left in the season, you turned your equipment back in, and there was equipment, catcher's equipment, bats, helmets, for each age group, basically.
Yeah.
Boys and girls. So
I don't know. I didn't see them.
I didn't notice anything out there, but
We used to keep them upstairs, or
Right.
like in a chest or whatever.
yeah, used to be in duffel bags. Kind of.
Well, they're in duffel bags, but yeah.
I have no idea about that.
When I went out there and Missy was there was a bunch of that in the concession stand. But
Those are, that's umpire
Yeah, I did
equipment.
notice a little bit of umpire's equipment.
I don't know.
That's a fairly big expense when you're talking about equipment for a number of teams. But I mean, I guess, see what happens and what we have when the season starts. I would assume that those independent teams would supply their own equipment. And if there was actually kids from the town, then we'd have to work something out. Sometimes sign-ups help cover some of those expenses.
And if they'd be willing to do some fundraisers, like I say, as far as I'm concerned, now that it's back into the town's possession, I'd like to keep it that way, and all the financial expenditures and repairs to go through the town's books, and that we know who's doing what, and we approve everything that's being done out there, regardless of who does it. And I would like to, I mean, if Rick is interested in doing that, and he's willing to, you know, do some labor and repairs, and we come up with the money for the materials and stuff, work some kind of deal with him to have the men's league out there, and let him go ahead and maintain that diamond, and maybe meet with Chris and his guy and see what they want to do and what they're offering. And if they're wanting to do a fundraiser, we got parking. We can park cars out there at that place, and also out at the other addition is still available. So there would be some money that if they did the fundraiser and put the money back due to town, we put it in an account for expenditures and materials and stuff to keep that up and going, kind of work with them in that manner, and use that money if necessary to buy equipment or something if they got a league going. And
Are you talking about once they get everything whipped into shape, about everything everything going through the town, like paying umpires and everything?
Not the umpires, just maintenance and the grounds,
Okay.
upkeep and the dugouts and the shelters and, you know, and whatever liability and insurance stuff, I want to make sure that we were covered and, you know, depending on how we have to do that. I don't know if our insurance would cover them out there, being as now it's a town's property and everything. And I don't know, you know, with other kids, if they would have to have some type of liability insurance on, I know they would on the players, but I don't know about, you know, it covering us or if there's any issues
So
like
would
that.
we
But
eventually then have some sort of an agreement, the town is gonna do this, and then, you know, your organization?
yeah, that's what I would
propose.
propose, that we come up with some type of agreement and, you know, like I say, if they're willing to maintain those fields and that upkeep on the, you know, like I know Rick can do, you know, that's just what his profession is construction, and that's what, there's a lot out there that needs to be done. And if Rick's willing to do that and maintain that diamond and stuff, that's a lot. There's a lot, you know, people don't realize, you know, they think it's just a field and they go out there and play on it and drag it whenever, right before the game, but that's not all. There's a lot more behind the scenes that is maintaining, mowing, trimming, and, you know, preparing the field and keeping everything up. You know,
Well,
if we could work out some kind of agreement like that, I have no issue at all, just swapping out some type of agreement, you know, and the town pay for the materials and stuff, and if they're willing to do some repairs, everything's gonna have to be fixed out there before they can even use it anyway, because they can't play out there without restrooms and whatnot. If they wanna have the concession open, you know, it's gonna have to be taken care of and repaired before anything could even get started. That's kinda where I'm looking at, because I'd like to see that thing, I mean, it's turned around quite a bit from when we've taken it, but it's still in bad shape, and it needs a lot of attention, and, you know, they're, you know, Rick's offering to bite off a big piece of the pie here, you know, is getting the initial repairs up and going, and then, you know, after that, maintaining them is nowhere near what it's gonna take to get it up, back to par.
I'm kind of gonna limit myself, not what I used to do in the past or what Terry and I used to do in the past. But I'm hoping that Chris and that group will pick up a lot of that stuff too.
Well, and if they don't, I mean, I'm looking at, you know, if you're willing to do the big diamond and for the men's softball or whatever, we could split it or whatever, and if they agree to pick that other part up, if not, the town will still maintain it or find somehow of maintaining the other part of the diamond and the other part that you're not using. You know, I'm not asking you I wouldn't ask you to maintain that whole ball diamond out there whenever you're only gonna use one field.
I would just soon keep mowing it all. I mean, I don't want to sound bad here, but we're the ones paying for the mowers, we're the ones maintaining the mowers. I take care of the mowers.
You know,
And
that.
I've seen what people using the mower that don't care about it does.
Well, and I understand that, but the only catch about that is that's what we do down there at work. And then sometimes the grass gets out of hand, and they got game schedule or something, and they got the grass gets too tall, and, you know, that's the only thing. You know, sometimes it needs mowed when you ain't got time to get to them. But, you know, I have no issue with that. I mean, that's even better as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you know, it's less that Rick would have to do as far as that's.
Well, you know, you two could work together on that. You know, if that situation arises, work through that.
I mean, I don't have the time, but now that we got it under control, I mean, we can cover some ground with 2 mowers at one time.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just, you know, my concern is like in the spring, whenever you're mowing every other day. And you got all the
we've already done that.
I know, and then you got everything else you got to mow too, besides the diamonds. And if they got games out there, you know, but you know that's a minor issue there that, you know, as far as I'm concerned. But if you want them all, I mean, that's, you know, I'm sure Rick wouldn't be mad.
Well, was one of the big things, you know, the big headache. It's nice not to have to worry about. And the insurance was the other big headache, because I think it was $1,700 or $1,800 a year that you had to figure out, you know, have fundraisers or whatever.
Not, you know, and being as town property and everything, I don't know, Robin, have to check with our insurance agent to see if we had an agreement like that, if our insurance would cover them out there. And
It's no different than a park, really.
yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
It might
but
be
I
a
know-
little different since
I
there's
know they-
falls flying.
You know, most teams have a type of injury insurance or something in case a player gets hurt.
When you sanction Babe Ruth, your kids are covered. I think the coaches are covered and umpires are covered. And it's really pretty reasonable. So there's that, but I know you're probably talking about the property and.
Yeah, and I'm sure that property wouldn't be any different than the park with somebody coming over there because it is town property and it is insured at the present time. People are out there anyway, so you know, I mean, when you own property, you're liable whether, you know, no matter who walks on your property.
If somebody falls off the bleachers and breaks their neck or breaks their back, you know, I mean, people, accidents happen, you know.
A few things, people get scalded,
Sure.
Yeah.
in the park, bit by a dog, somebody brings their dog, bites a kid, you know, things like that.
But I'm all in favor of it myself, you know. I think this is a positive move forward with getting that thing back around where it needs to be.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to get your input on is, the board's input is, you know, when we've been out there in the past, you always had people come out there and say, well, I can be out here, I can do what I want, this is public property. And I'm sure the attitude is, you know, if you're out here to play ball, then nobody has a problem with that, but if you're out there doing things you should be doing, then I guess, what do you tell them? You know, this isn't public, well, I guess you can say it's public property.
You know,
I think if we
to
do
me, you pull out our ordinance for parks, because really that's a park. I don't know if you guys need to officially designate it a park, but we have rules that restrict what goes on in our park right now.
That's true.
Well, and two,
So-
part of the agreement, we could, you know, give you like the authority that if somebody's out there, you know, riding mini bike on the field or whatever, that you're in charge, and under that agreement, you got control of kids out there tearing it up.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that just be
Run 'em
another one
off.
of our parks?
Well, you'd have to look at the ordinance, and we'll see what the language
It
says.
covers that. I mean, it just
Okay.
says park, but, I mean, it
Yeah.
covers golf carts, motorized vehicles, ATVs, I mean, all that stuff is covered in
Yeah, I've had to stop by
our
there a couple
current
times.
ordinance
Yeah.
that we have for the park. I mean, our park ordinance doesn't list the specific location of this one over here. It just calls it park. But
Yeah,
we've
we
got
can
pretty,
look into that.
you know, we got several things that cover it, so.
That's a good point.
Are you more worried about having a game or getting ready to start a game and several guys come up and say, hey, we want the ball diamond?
No,
Okay, so what I don't really quite understand
Yeah,
what.
there was one.
Well, it's, I mean, I'll just tell you, I've ran people off. I've had people come out there and bring their kids out with a go-kart and think it's a go-kart track. I'm like, no, you're,
Yeah, I've
Things
had to
like
run
that.
them off.
oh, well,
the
somebody said we could do this. I said, no.
I've been out there, people pull up and get out and let their dogs go crap out there, and let them
Oh, yeah.
go out there and they shut the gate and let the dogs run around out there on the field and
Yep.
crap on the field and stuff because
Well,
they've got them
that's it.
enclosed in the
I want
fence.
to put up signs that say no dog. I wanna put up
I've seen
signs
it
that say
when
no
I was out there
dogs.
mowing. I've seen it. People pull in the parking lot, take a dog out
I
there.
remember one year somebody came out and they spread their swimming pool tarp out on the field, and it was 90 degrees, and it just turned that grass brown.
Grass.
Yeah. This, you wouldn't
I think
dump
that,
tires,
well, you know, I think if we set up an agreement that we could add some kind of language like that to where Rick could have the authority while he's out there or whatever, the diamond he's in control of or whatever, that he could, you know, run people off or whatever, and he's gonna be setting his schedule for his ball games and stuff, so he would have control of when and, you know, if someone
Well,
else
with
come out there
cameras, we'll be able to
and
get
what they
there.
wanted to use it for.
Sometimes you see something that says, and I don't always pay a lot of attention to, they say park rules, I mean, yeah.
You know, we've talked about this before, and we've all seen it's been abused. But my feeling on it is, if it's a ball diamond, okay? It's not a place to ride your bike. It's not a place to walk your dog. And if you go up there and if you don't have a ball and a bat and some gloves, you're not there to play ball. We've had kids play down in the dugouts. They walk up and down them seats, jump around, they're going to get hurt. They do vandalizing stuff and things that ought not be going on. And I don't think no one like that should, there's no purpose for that. And I'm just simply saying it's a ball diamond. And there's no slides, there's no swings. And if you're not going to play ball, you shouldn't even be up there. That's my feeling on it.
Sometimes people play kickball.
Well, you know what I'm talking about within
Yeah.
reason. But just to have a place to walk around, you know, you and 3, 4, 5 guys just out kicking it, you know, I just, you know, just.
I can think of times when we work to get the field ready, and somebody comes out there and kind of, if it's wet, rains or something,
Ride a bike. I've had that happen.
Yeah,
then it takes
yeah.
hours to get that stuff straightened back out.
But I mean, there's signs that can be put up. I mean, I don't know if Andy wants to do it or you, or how you guys want to do it, but just to let the public know, you know, that It's not necessary for public use to do whatever you want to do there, you know.
You know, I just wonder. if
Public use to play ball, period.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a little bit more specific than, you know.
But if there are something that says rules up there, then maybe they'll get the idea that there are
Sure,
rules.
sure.
You know,
Yeah,
even,
that can be done. I mean, you know, that's no
even if
problem.
they're not exactly those rules.
I think part of it's gonna change too with seeing activity down there. I mean, it's set now for 2 years, nobody down there, you know, that it's like every abandoned house here, kids start tearing up stuff. So maybe if they see more activity down there, they'll start scaring them off too.
I think it's true. There's nobody out there now, so the kids have got a place to go hang out. If they see people out there and
Cameras.
practicing and that type of thing. and-
Cameras will distract it too,
Yeah, I've always,
and we're having Andy look into cameras.
you know, it's always, would have been nice over the years to see who dumped something in the dumpster. We caught a few people just by jumping in there and figuring out their address and the stuff was trash in there. So. There may be a few men's teams practice down there, so I mean, I'll let them know if it's too wet or whatever, but I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, because normally when it's
Nice
too
to-
wet, they don't play games
It'd be
down there
nice
in
to see
the
it used
caves.
again.
Well, I appreciate you coming tonight, Rick, and expressing interest in this. And I think it's an answer for all of us. We all want it to be used, and there's no use having something if you're not going to use it, you know. And there's a use for it and a need for it. And I'm like John. I pretty much agree with everything that's been said tonight, and I'm sure something positive can be worked out for sure.
Something else, maybe we're gonna try to come up with some type of fee if somebody wants to use the field for some kind of type of group. I know this spring, if it had been available, I was approached by a couple different individuals. Tipton was redoing their pee-wee field and they would need practice time. There also was a travel team that didn't have a field that went to Indianapolis to rent a field, close to Indianapolis. I mean, there's that possibility that we might be able to rent it out to, if you came up with a price for 2 hours or whatnot.
Are you familiar with any of those fees? I mean, I don't have a clue what a going.
No, I'm sure whatever I would quote would be probably pretty low as far as my experience, but
Something to think about, look into.
but we used to have, I think your church used it one time. I think they just made a donation or something, but yeah, it's been a while. That's about all I have.
Okay, Rick.
I'll try to, once I get done, I'll try to look at things more and see if I can figure out what we have and what we don't have. I suppose the equipment thing would be something to worry about. We get to the point we have a team to worry about.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay,
Thank you, Rick.
appreciate it. I'm headed back home.
All right.
We'll keep in touch.
See you
Yeah.
All right, Rick.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to more old business, the wastewater grant drawdown, number 5. Would you like to
Oh,
enlighten us on that, Andy,
MK
please?
Best has put in a request for a drawdown. And there's a picture, there's an attached picture in that packet that shows equipment they bought, fluorination equipment that they bought. I just don't think we should pay anything. I don't think we should prove anything until work resumes out there. These guys are 3 months behind schedule. They ain't been here for 2 weeks. And I'm tired of it. Tom keeps, he told me today, I called him today and said, when are they coming back? Well, we're working on some revised drawings and a new schedule. And I said, Tom, the foundation is ready to go, done. There's no issue. I mean, I don't know what the issue is on the MK Betts end, but, we've already paid them $10 grand. They don't need any more money. I don't care what they bought. What I don't understand is from Living Waters, I don't know who has the equipment because Living Waters is a sub that won the bid. And why would a company that has parts in stock ship them to Anderson when they just bring them up here and put them in.
It's just a picture of cardboard boxes that somebody took with marker and wrote Atlanta
Yeah.
on them. How do we know what's in them?
And I don't really care what, I mean, if they bought them, I don't have an issue with it, but for one, me personally, if we're paying for materials, it's gonna be right here. Not, I don't know where, and I'm still back to, nothing's been done. I'm not kidding you. I know a 75-year-old man that could've got done what they did in 2 hours, and it took him 3 days, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean, they dug half a footer. I took, I didn't print them out. I forgot to print them out, but I did take some pictures. Or you guys go out there, but these guys got to get going. Because I'm going to tell you what's already going to happen now. We were supposed to be done April 1st.
Yeah, we will.
That's already blown out of the water. Now they're not even going to make it the chlorination system. That ends November 1st. We're not going to be online. So what that's going to do? That's going to carry us all the way over to April 1st before they start our monitoring. We have 6 months of monitoring once this system is online. So it's going to be this time next year before we even have a hope of getting them off our back. I mean, basically, this thing has been drug out and is extended for over another year. I just don't think they need to get back here. And like I said, Tom couldn't give me an answer today, and I'm like, I don't think they should get it until we start seeing some action and get some work done. That foundation should already be done. I mean, they should be out there. I already know the well driller, he's not coming until they got the foundation done. So that's already held him off. He was ready to go. I was out there at the site meeting. He was ready to go right now, and they decided, well, we're going to wait until we get the foundation done. Well, hell, that was a month ago.
I say they shouldn't get their money until they're done.
They need to start. I mean, I'm not opposed to paying somebody for work, but we're not getting any work.
Yeah, it's a domino effect. Somebody can come and finish it.
Yeah, and we'll get
Hinders the
fined.
next guy and the next guy, and then,
That's one of those we have.
yeah.
Well, it looks like
And we would get fined if, I mean, we're lucky we're not getting fined because we're supposed to have this stuff done already.
Well, this chlorine equipment's $20,000.
It says it says 20,655. I can't even figure out what 655 is for. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that anywhere.
I don't know what the 655 is.
If they say it's for digging that half a footer,
But my question is the building's not even up, so why are you buying equipment? And if he's got that equipment purchased already, is our warranty started on that equipment to where the warranty's gonna run short on us before it ever gets even
Hopefully
in
not.
use? I think warranties ought to be good at, not start until the day it's in service and we, and I deal with Living Waters, but since this is purchased and, and it was shipped to MK Betts, does that mean that the warranty is started as of purchase date?
well, I'm telling you, this
And,
is
you know,
August, and I'm not trying to panic here, but the time's gonna start clicking by, and then it's gonna be some garbage that is too cold. Or
Well,
it's too this, or it's too that. And then, we're gonna be back next spring and not even have this thing done.
I don't know why we're so far behind. I mean, we've already got extensions from the state 2 or 3 times on this project already, and we're already, here we are still sitting idle in the water and nothing's getting done. And the pictures that Andy had of the footer, the banks, it's just a trench with some gravel in the bottom and they're already caving in. And, we get any more big rains and they're just gonna end up digging those all out and, they're just gonna be basically wasted what they've already done. So
That's hold tight then.
Tom hasn't been able to give you a definite time as to when they're gonna,
Nope, I talked to Tom today, and we
did you ask him why? He can't.
well, he said he's gonna call him. I'm done. I'm calling the guy tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm,
Tom don't want to pinpoint him down to.
no, he said, well, we're working on some shop drawings. I don't even wanna hear that.